Next, we're going to be looking at exercises number 127 and 128, and these deal with a couple of different concepts. At this point in the book right now, we've passed through level 1 of the book, we've passed through level 2, and we're on something called level 3, sounds development. At this point in the book, what it means is that they're going to start introducing concepts a little bit faster, and it means that you're going to see a few things at once in every single exercise. We've gotten to a more advanced part of our music making now, so we're not just doing one thing at a time. We're thinking about multiple things at a time as we're playing. So on this first page, when you see the sound development, whatever page that might be for you in your book, you're going to see a few different things defined. First of all, they're going to be talking about a key signature because we're looking at C major today. We've learned about D major already. D major has two sharps, F sharp and C sharp. And a few videos ago, we talked about the G major scale, which has just F sharp in the key signature. Now, whenever you see something in C major, there's going to be two hints to tell you that it's in C major. Number one, when you look at the key signature, which is that space after your clef, you're going to see nothing there. No sharps and no flats, even though we haven't learned about flats yet. No sharps, no flats. And that's one clue to tell you we're in C major. The other clue is that C major exercises often start or end on the note C. So that's what you see with the C major key signature there. Because we have F natural and C natural, we will have to use those altered fingerings, and we'll talk about that in a minute. We also have a few definitions written here for us. We start with dynamics. If you've already looked at the Allegro video, we've talked about dynamics a little bit, but here's where they're introduced in the book. Dynamics are changes in volume. We use symbols to indicate how loud or how soft to play. So the composer has an intention, this is supposed to be loud, this is supposed to be soft. The composer writes in a symbol so you know what to do. The first one they give you is mezzo forte. Now the Z's are like the Z's in pizza. You wouldn't say pizza, you would say pizza. Same thing with mezzo. You have that kind of t sound instead of a z sound. Mezzo forte in your music, you'll see it as MF. Indicates to play medium loud. Do this by placing your bow in the mezzo forte center lane. We'll talk about the bowing lanes in another minute here. Use a medium amount of arm and weight and a medium fast bow speed. Forte, that F symbol right there, indicates to play loudly. Do this by placing your bow in the forte lane. Use more arm weight and a slower bow speed. Piano, that P right there, indicates to play softly. Do this by placing your bow in the piano lane. Use less arm weight and a faster bow speed. So you're also going to see one of these diagrams. If you're playing a violin book, you're going to see this diagram. If you see a viola book, you're going to see this diagram. So bowing lanes is talking about where on your string and where between the bridge and the fingerboard you're going to place your bow. And as weird as this might seem at first, it does make a huge, huge difference. So let me start by placing my bow in the piano bowing lane. So I'm going to look at my book, I'm going to see where piano is. The piano is pretty close to the fingerboard. I'm going to exaggerate now and place it over the fingerboard just so you can hear. Now, I'm not going to use a lot of bow weight, I'm just going to use a little bit, and I'm going to start moving my bow. There I have a pretty quiet sound. Now if I want the mezzo forte bowing lane, this is what we taught you to begin with. We said to place your bow between the fingerboard and the bridge, about right here. So when you start moving your bow here, already you can hear it's a little bit louder. I'm going to place it closer to the bridge now, and this is the forte bowing lane. And naturally it's just a little bit louder there. So now that we know how to play piano, now that we know how to play mezzo forte and forte, let's start looking at the C major scale and exercises that follow it. So number 127 first, let's look at the notes. Your first note is on the G string, and you're looking at it, you think, okay, I know that's 3 fingers on the G string, that's going to be a C. After that, a lot of the notes are on the D string and A string. So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Oh, I'm so sorry, I made a mistake. I was reading it as if it was bass clef instead of alto clef there. We do not go up to high D because this is not the D major scale. This is the C major scale. Make sure you're only going from low C to high C. Now I want to pause for a second to talk about the F and the C. You'll notice that it's marked with 2 fingers, but because we don't have any sharps in the key signature here, we're going to use that low 2 fingering that we've talked about before. If you're using a high 2 fingering, it's not going to be the right notes. Then you're going to play F sharp and C sharp instead of F natural and C natural. So practice that pizzicato. Make sure that you have those 2 fingers squeezed together whenever you're playing F or C, and that you also are stretching your 3rd finger to play the next note as well. Take a moment to practice that. Now, one last thing, I see that there's a dynamic marked in my music, and that is mezzo forte, that MF that you see at the beginning. So in order to play that, I'm going to place my bow in the mezzo forte bow lane, and I'm going to use a little bit of weight from my arm. I'll place my fingers down for the first note. 1, 2, ready, go. Did you remember to squeeze your 2 fingers together when you were playing F and C? I hope so. Did you remember to stretch your 3rd finger all the way to the 3rd finger tape? If you need to go back and do it again, you can do it as many times as you need to until it feels comfortable. Now let's look at the next exercise, C major arpeggio. We've played arpeggios before, but we have not played this specific arpeggio. And we really have to look at how many fingers to play for each note. So first, let's look at the note names. I see that we have C, then E, then G, and then my higher C, and I'm already thinking to myself, okay, that's C because it's C natural, I need to play it with a low 2. Then I return back to G, then E, then C on the G string again. So then you're going to think about how many fingerings you'll need for each of those notes. Thankfully, some of them are written in for you, but you don't want to rely too much on that. So make sure you know before you play how many fingers are going to be used on each note. Lastly, you're going to look below the notes and see that below the first note is the dynamic forte. Forte means loud. Because I want you to play forte, that means you're going to set your bow near the bridge and allow the weight of your arm to go into the string. Don't push down because that's going to create an ugly sound. Just let your arm weight rest into the string. And let's start number 128. 1, 2, ready, go. You might need to go back and play that a few times so that you remember to put your bow in the forte lane. You might need to go back and play it again because you forgot a low 2, or just making sure that you're playing all the rhythms correctly and that the last note's exactly 3 beats. If you have any questions, please comment below. I'll be happy to answer them.